In a world clouded by noise,
truth is waiting in the quiet
it whispers.
until someone dares to listen.
She is the Oracle, Tammy De Mirza, a world-renowned intuitive.
A messenger of what's hidden.
She sees what others cannot.
And speaks the truths you have been seeking. And he is the master, Sifu Rafael, a master instructor, strategist.
A guide who leads with discipline.
Turning wisdom
into action. Together,
we awaken what's been buried.
We ignite the hunger for truth.
And we challenge illusions.
Guiding you to your next level of power. Two powerful souls unite to awaken what's been buried.
To break what's been bound and to speak what others want. The Oracle
and the Master.
It's time. Good morning.
Buenos días, señorita.
Buenos dias. You stood? Oh, well, I think it's how are you doing?
I am exceptional and getting better every day, and I know you are as well.
Always growing.
Mm-hmm.
Always changing. Always flipping it up.
Absolutely. And you asked me a pretty interesting question earlier. And you say, are you busy?
Yeah.
And I told you how I love being busy. And the reason I love it is because if I'm not busy, I'm not living.
Yes.
And for me, living is part of growth. Living is exactly what you talked about. Being exceptional means that we grow almost daily, if you will. Let's talk about the Cobra Effect.
I think it means two different things for us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go first or you want to share?
Absolutely. Okay. Please, ladies always first, especially if they're beautiful.
Smart man. The Cobra Effect is something that I started talking about. I was in Greenville, South Carolina. I think this was 2012. Yeah, it was a long time ago. And I was here at a little spiritual event that was going on, and there were different practitioners, and this lady, she did a few things. She's a medium, and she asked us to close our eyes, and she asked us if an animal or something came forward. And for me, it was the cobra. And my first response was, oh God, what? And when she went around the room, she pointed me out and she said, what animal appeared to you? And I said, the cobra. And she said, that's because it's wise and it has something to share with you. So I started using the Cobra Effect with all of my clients. And an interesting fact about cobras, I've talked about this on this show before, but since we're talking about it, I got to go into it. I did not know until I was in Egypt with a Sufi. I did not know that cobras do not have eyelids. So even when they sleep, their eyes are open and they are gathering information, and they're very wise. Now, I'm going to show a picture of me with a cobra. After I started explaining the Cobra Effect, which I'll get into in just a minute,
Can you share that picture with me? Because I can throw it on the screen. Even if you text it to me, I can do that.
Text it to you? Okay, that would be perfect.
Because I think if you show it on your phone, it's not going to show up as much as
it's not going to show up as well. And there you go. This is in Morocco. I had placed my order to be around a cobra and to see one in person because I talked about them all the time. I didn't want it to be in a wild environment where the cobra could bite me. I wanted just to be around the cobra because I had developed an affinity to them
Mm.
because of what I call the Cobra Effect. So what that is that when the cobra arises and it flares itself, it is formidable, and you cannot not pay attention to it. It is arising on purpose because it sees something. Cobras are known as seers. I'm known as a seer because of my intuitive abilities. So the cobra is very important because when it pops up and arises and then it flares, you can't help but pay attention. You cannot ignore it. It is rising for a reason, and you have to stop what you're doing if you are in front of a real cobra that arises, because it's toxic, it's poisonous, it could kill you. But we've also seen in movies, and there it is, that was in Morocco, it was in the city square. And what is fascinating is I'm only about 6 feet from the cobra. My legs are only about 6 feet from that. And then if you look behind the cobra, there's another snake. I don't even know what that is, but that snake was only about 2.5 feet from my feet and my legs. And I was like, God, don't move. Don't move. The handler, and this is something that is beautiful about the cobras. The handlers, and I remember seeing Karate Kid many, many years ago, him going to a temple or something, and the cobra and the handler are dancing with each other. And so to me, the Cobra Effect that I explain to my clients is you can either get scared or you can use it and dance with it. And when I watched the handlers in Morocco, they were not afraid of the cobra, nor did they think the cobra was going to bite them. But let me tell you what it did. He moved his hand like a snake, like this, and would move his hand like a snake and go against the mouth of the cobra to keep it flared so that he could get the picture. Now, I never saw the cobra's wings go down.
Wow.
Because the handler was constantly probing and tapping its lips to get it to stay flared. But the cobra was not opening its mouth as if it was going to bite. So what I saw when I got to see the cobra and the handler was that the cobra naturally flared. Otherwise, those wings go in and it looks like a normal snake. But when it flared, he would do a dance with it. And it was this beautiful symbiotic thing. And I thought, that is how I want to teach my clients, dance with the cobra, because what it's showing you is toxic in your life. And that is basically the universe saying, there's something going on in your life that would be wise to overcome. Don't ignore it. Use it. It's a gift. It's an opportunity. And no matter how difficult it is, or how much it hurts, or how uncomfortable it is when you see it, it's showing you something toxic that you are ready to overcome. And you don't even know. To me, the universe is constantly rising and showing you and giving you the signs and the symptoms of what you're doing, what your patterns are, what your next spiritual curriculum is. So the reason I placed my order to be around a cobra, because I didn't want to just see it on a TV show or National Geographic or in a movie where they have the snakes come up out of the basket and it's dancing. But that is the contrast. That's the law of polarity. It can dance with you. It can see things. It's wisdom. It's constantly giving you messages. And it is flared. It's big. You can't look around it. You got to face it. So I tell my clients, when the universe is giving you signs and symptoms, honor them. Stop what you're doing. Pay attention to what that pattern is, how it is affecting you, So I love that you titled this The Cobra Effect, and that's what I call it. And use it and dance with it instead of just being afraid. So that comes across as something that causes you pain, something that causes you irritation, something that causes you not to be able to sleep. That is what I'm speaking of. The universe gives you the Cobra Effect to say, there's something popping up in your life, and it blocks your vision. And as you can see on that cobra, I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight. Let me tell you what they did to make the cobra look even more formidable. The cobra was only standing, when I saw it at a distance, it only stood about 2 feet up from the ground. And so what the handler did was he pulled the camera way down, and he has the projection of the cobra looking really tall against me sitting on a little crate in the background.
Right.
But the cobra really didn't rise that far. But when the universe is trying to get your attention and going, hey, something is going on, and this is your next curriculum, and you have an opportunity to overcome it, to heal it, to get past it, please use it.
Mhm.
So in all things, the law of polarity is an equal and an opposite effect. So what do we choose to do with when something arises and it is blatantly in our face? What do we choose to do? And that is what I call the Cobra Effect. So I want to know what that is for you.
It's very interesting the way you helped us understand your view of it. But what I've seen the Cobra Effect for people is they freeze, and you talked about that as well. But they take no action. Yet, no action is an action.
Yes.
When you say no, it's not saying yes. And so when we think about the Cobra Effect, for me, it people stop in their tracks. They stop what they're doing. And sometimes the people have Cobra Effect when they're doing work because they stop what they're doing and they go to do something else.
Right.
And so when we think about the Cobra Effect, it does stop you in your tracks because your next step isn't important.
Yes.
And so many people don't realize the importance of being stopped in their tracks. There's a reason you stopped. Your body knows because of fight or flight. Your body understands before you do. But we don't listen to our body. This is why so many people stop at a where? Fast
You
food place.
froze.
Fast
You
food
froze
place.
for a second. So repeat that.
I froze because I was stuffed.
And you're freezing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So
You're
a
back
lot of
now.
people stop at the wrong place, a fast food place. That's not the place to stop. That's where you keep going. Right? And we freeze or we do something based on what we want, not what we need. And when we can follow the need more than the want, we achieve more. We notice things more. So if you're thinking about the Cobra Effect, is yes, stop and smell the flowers, smell the roses, take a look around you. Who's around you? Because so many times there's something that gets put in front of us, which is the Cobra Effect. Stop. Pay attention. Maybe I stood up too quickly and I got dizzy. Well, why did I get dizzy? What's happening in my body? How am I seeing my physicality connecting with the world around me? And we forget to listen to those callings, if you will. So the cobra, if you actually were in the forest and you saw a cobra, if it's far away, you can run. If it's a foot away from you, your next step may be a deadly one. So the reason you freeze is to let the cobra know you're not there to harm it. And a lot of times, the cobra will just move on. But if it's in danger, it will strike. So if you think about life, if you pay attention, it won't strike you down. It may push you, but your next action will be the outcome of what you want in life, or don't even realize you need. So there's a difference between need and want, right? Listen, I want a new blazer. But if that new blazer means I'm not going to eat for the next 3 days because the blazer cost me $1,000 and I don't have anything but $1,000, I have to, my need is food, my want is the blazer. So what's more important? And in the US, people go, I'll just put on a credit card. And no longer did that blazer cost you $1,000. By the time you pay your credit card off, it might have cost you $1,300, $1,500. Maybe you're doing the minimum. Maybe that blazer cost you $3,000. So it's about being smart with the Cobra Effect. So think before you act fast if it's needed, but it's okay to go slow. And when you want to learn something, sometimes it's best to go slow so you can get better at it, especially when it's a physical or mechanical type of thing that you need to learn. That's how I see the Cobra Effect.
Mm. So it's about freezing.
Mm,
And in the freezing, is there a wisdom in using it?
absolutely. It's what you do, right?
Are you talking about, when you talk about the Cobra Effect, we're talking about it from two totally different vantage points.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about it from the universe showing you signs and using them to overcome it. You're talking about it more, pay attention, go ahead and freeze, take the time to freeze. I'm seeing if I understand your Cobra Effect.
Yes.
Take the time to freeze and make a decision and really think through the decision. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Good.
So two different perspectives. If you and I encountered a cobra, not where you're sitting and somebody's handling it, but where we're out in the woods, and you encountered one and I encountered one, we may act exactly the same way initially. But what our next steps would be, and the same thing goes for anybody who's listening to us. And please go ahead and put in the comments, what would you do? How would you react?
Would you run? Would you freeze?
Yeah.
The
And-
fight or flight instinct is the 4 F's.
Yeah. And what your next actions will determine the next 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Now, if you freaked out, your next 5 minutes will be, will I live? Because you've gotten bit. And now you have venom in you. So your 5 minutes may be scrambling to see if I can get some help. How do I cut my leg off? Or cut into it? Or stop the blood, stop the venom from spreading, whatever it is, right? So every action has a reaction. whether you like it or
There was a thing that happened a few years ago. I had lived in Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina, in the Research Triangle. And I had left and I had moved back here. Well, I'd moved to Chattanooga and then I moved back here. After I moved back here, I think this was a couple of years ago, and this made national news. There was a guy in North Carolina that had poisonous snakes. And did you know that there is a cobra that spits and it goes
Mm.
for your eyes?
Mm.
That cobra got out. I mean, you think about this. This guy has this poisonous snake that can spit
Mm.
and hit his eyes, and he's in trouble. He had already, his parents, I don't know why his parents let him have these very poisonous things in the house in a cage, but the snake got out, and it got out in the neighborhood. And people were scared to death. I'd never heard of a cobra that could project spit. It didn't even have to bite you.
I know people who are like that in person. They spit venom every time they speak.
Well, that's because they're hurting. They finally caught the cobra, but the guy had actually been bitten at least twice. And I
Mhm.
understand that the venom, the medicine that he needed was $100,000 a hit, and
Mm.
they would ship it from South Carolina to them. We have copperheads here. One of my neighbors actually saw a big copperhead in his garage, and he said, "Don't worry, he's not alive anymore." But one of the things that I learned about snakes that everybody would benefit from knowing, I don't know why, but I'm gonna give you a way to remove ticks that is the safest way you can remove it, because I asked Spirit about it.
Mm.
I didn't want to worry about, my parents used to pull it with tweezers and worry about whether or not the head was stuck. You don't even have to do that. All you do is put dish detergent or soap on the tick. It lets go. It cannot stand that. It lets go. You wipe it off with a paper towel or a tissue. The snake venom is a totally different thing. You got to go to the hospital. I was doing a job years ago in a house, and I was 2 levels of scaffolding up on the 2 levels of scaffolding that I had, and I'm doing the fireplace, and I have a trowel, and I am faux finishing it. And this guy came in, and he was a lot of fun, and he was installing the dishwasher, and we started talking, and he's cutting up. He got bit by a copperhead that night,
Mm.
and he almost died, even though he had the venom. So what I think you and I both are saying is don't get bit by it. You're saying make decisions. I'm saying use it to heal,
Yes,
because the cobra sees something you don't.
without a doubt.
Yeah. And to me, the universe is the most relentless entity that I know, because it will not
Mm.
give up. It will continue to show you the pattern and what you're ready to release, heal, overcome. It will not stop. So I had this client in North Carolina right before I moved there, and she said, well, I moved to Chattanooga from there. And she said, "I know you're happy. My husband is acting up. They were getting a divorce." And she
Mm.
said, "I know you're happy because my husband is really acting up right now." And I started laughing, and I said, "Yes, I am." Because to me, the Cobra Effect is a gift and a blessing. And when somebody is acting up and you're not happy, it's never about them,
Mhm.
ever. It's only about you. I was just in Japan for 13 days. I got home last Wednesday night, a week ago. Did you know last night is the first night that I actually slept like
Wow.
normal, instead of, it's a 13-hour difference.
Mm.
Never had jet lag like this. I've been in Africa quite a few times. I've been in Jordan. I've had long flights. I've never had anything like this. And so I used it. What I would do when I would wake up in the middle of the night for an hour or so, I would just use it or work, or I would contemplate, or I would think about something. And then I would say, okay, body, it's time to rest. And I would lay back down and go back to sleep. Last night is the first time that I got 7 hours. I'm very happy over that. 8 hours, actually. Yeah.
My
And I
goodness, my
woke up,
body would be in
wow,
pain.
do what?
My body would be in pain.
Really?
I can't sleep that long.
Wow. That is interesting. Well, let me finish my thought and then we'll get to that. What I'm saying is that even in that, instead of being distressed, instead of being upset, I just used it. And I would say, okay, what email can I get to? What did I forget to do before I went to Japan? What did I forget to respond to? Who did I not text back? And use it. And I would look at people's phones and go, do you have your notifications silenced? Can I text you at 2 a.m? Or I would say, I hope you do not have your phone near you and that I'm not awakening you, but I'm doing this right now. Use everything. Use everything. And then things will get back into the rhythmic state. What I've learned is that the universe will constantly show you that which you are ready to deal with. You don't even know you're ready to deal with it. You probably don't even know the pattern is there. But at all times, the universe is trying to show you, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. And it's dancing and it's showing you in 50 ways. And that is one of the things that I help clients to see. What is happening in your life? What are you creating? What are your patterns? This is simply your curriculum. Let's graduate, because the beauty is once you graduate a curriculum, a pattern, an issue, a problem, you will never have that symptom again, because the universe says she or he graduated. Morning, Katie. He or she graduated. And I don't ever have to show them that again. That is what the universe does. It's relentless. It won't stop.
It will not. It will not, for sure. But we are given signs every day, aren't we?
Yes.
The universe is talking to us. And as the universe talks to us, so many people cover up.
See it. I want to run.
They don't listen. So what's your trick for listening? Because I know you're an incredible listener.
I go in. I dive in. I don't avoid things. And avoidance is a huge issue. Avoidance is, I don't want to deal with that right now. I'm going to tell you an interesting story that actually happened to me. Spirit, when it wants to show me things, I will get illustrations. I might get 6 clients in a row with the same thing. They're wanting me to learn about this and the energy about it and the human behavior and the belief system and what goes on. For me, avoidance is I'm either going to run from that, I am going to push it into a closet, I'm going to pretend it's not there, I am not going to address it. So what happened to me was there were a lot of things coming up, a lot of patterns. I was in a marriage that was very, very difficult. It was my first marriage. And these patterns kept rising, dancing in front of me. And I remember saying, I don't want to deal with that right now. I'm too busy. I was a mother of 2 children. I was working. I was sewing. I was doing all kinds of things. I don't have time for that. This visual Sifu of, okay, let's put it in the closet. And I went, good. And I would shut the closet door. And I'm like, see, that was easy. I don't have to deal with this. And then the next time that the universe showed me something else around that, I did the same thing. Well, I'm just going to put you in the closet. I'm not kidding you. For a month and a half, every single time something arose, I would say, I'm going to go to the closet. well, you can do that, Tammy. You can do it. The closet started getting full. And every single time I did that, Spirit was showing me, all right, here's your closet. It only has so much room. You're going to put something else. When it got to the point to where it was full, I'm like, oh God, the closet's full. Can I just get this one thing in there? And I barely opened the door and I stuffed it in and I shut it. And I'm like, what am I going to do the next time? This feels good to put it in the closet. This feels good to avoid it. This feels good just to push it aside. The next time that something came up, it was a repetitive thing. The next time it came up, I went and I touched the door and the door flew open and all of it came out. And from that moment, I realized that Spirit was telling me, these things do not go away. They will not go away because you and I designed this world this way, to function this way. So what I do, Sifu, is when something arises, if I feel the least bit of, sometimes you feel this heaviness and you don't even know why. Something feels uncomfortable and you don't have a clue why. I will sit with this and say, what are you trying to show me? What do you want me to see? I don't even understand why I'm feeling uncomfortable. What is the subject matter? What is this about? And I will say, I want to overcome it. Show me how to overcome this so I don't keep facing it. And I'm going to give you an example of that. I actually, when I was homeless, and I'm trying my best to overcome, I would create a miracle. I would manifest a miracle out of thin air. And then I'm on the edge of the cliff again, and I don't have any money. So it was this roller coaster of money comes in, money goes out, and I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. And there were even times that my mind would go to, well, you can sleep in your car if you have to. If you have to, you could take your kitchen stuff and your clothes and put it in your SUV and you could sleep in a parking lot. My mind was going nuts because of fear. And I decided one day that this is that Cobra Effect. I decided one day, I'm sick of dealing with this. I'm sick of this same pattern showing itself. I'm sick of worrying about money. I don't ever want to deal with this again. So I know I need to graduate it. So I want to go in. I really want to go into this and I want to overcome it. Show me how to do it. There were 7 days that I went through every single day, all day long. I was working, and the very first thing that Spirit told me to do was get in the mud of it. Go ahead and get in the mud with the pain. And I remember one day I was walking upstairs in the condo that I was renting, and I just pictured the carpet as being mud. And I sat down and I just started weeping. And I said, okay, you're telling me to get in the mud. Don't avoid it. Don't get away from it. Get in it. Go ahead and dive in there and cover yourself with the mud. So I literally, Sifu, was picturing, and this is written about in a book, I was picturing putting the mud, just scooping it up and putting it all over me, all over my body. And then I looked up at Spirit and I said, do you see me now? The only thing you can see is the white of my eyes and the white of my teeth. And it's not because I'm smiling. This hurts. But guess what? Each night that I went to bed, I would say, okay, where am I in the journey? Because I know how close I am and clients are to getting through the door and graduating. And I would assess it. And then the next morning I would go, okay, what is my lesson today? What's the next step of this healing? And for 7 days, I was in that. Finally, the last day I woke up and I went, wow, it feels free and clear, but I know there's one more step. So why don't you tell me what that was? And as I'm walking down the stairs, I'm holding on to the hand railing and I'm walking down the stairs and Spirit said, do you want to be homeless? Do you want to feel this fear anymore? And I said, no, you mean it's a choice? Yes. But I had done work for 7 days and really getting into it. So the way that you get into it is you look at it, you face it, you really sit with it. Kind of that pause that you were talking about, freezing and using it and thinking about it, going in deeper and saying, how often do I experience this pattern? Guys, I'd experienced it on and off for 5 years, and I was sick of it. I never missed a meal. I never had to sleep in my car the entire time that I was homeless, but I was scared and in trauma a great deal of the time. And then I would readjust, and then a miracle would happen. But I was tired of the miracles even because they weren't sustainable. So when I decided I'm going to overcome this once and for all, did you know not once has my checking account ever gotten down to zero again? That is the good news. Once you use it, you will never even face that symptom again. So why not use the dancing cobra and dance with it?
I love the dancing with the cobra because now you're engaging that which stopped you, right? You're no longer afraid of it. You've made it part of your being. And so when you think about that, cobra.
Look at that thing. I mean, with you pulling it up really close, I'm like, oh.
So,
and I'm smiling, but you can tell my face is kind of like,
yeah.
And some people, when they've seen that picture, they go, I would never do that. I said, I had to do it. I teach about it all the time. I had to.
Yeah. So I'm trying to move it here.
Whew.
Look at that. Interesting.
It's stunning.
Looking at both of you, actually. You're both making a face.
Yes. I'm smiling, but I'm still like, oh God. Yeah.
And when you think about what you just said was really interesting because we can see adversity in so many different ways. We can see it where, oh my God, but I have to deal with it. And how do I deal with it is going to get me either from point A to point B or from point A to point Z. And it's how we deal with it. And it's the oh my God effect, the oh Cobra effect, the oh I have to stop and really pay attention to what I'm going to do next, or pay attention to the person who may be the actual Cobra who's telling you, stop, pay attention, do this. But sometimes we don't even listen. And I think it's important. It's important to listen. Can I share with you what we're doing in September?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't think I have the right video. Maybe I do. Let's take a look.
The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC experience. Mastermind, light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC experience mastermind, where purpose is found.
So much fun. So much fun.
Tell me about
Anybody want to join us? It's pretty easy. Go to New York City or nycmastermindexperience.com and get your tickets. Right now, we're doing something crazy. And this is the Cobra Effect. For those of you, it's in front of you. We're almost giving it away. And when it moves, you either pay higher or you pay the lower price.
And what is the cost of it right now if they do something right now?
Right now, it's so incredibly cheap. It's $197 for 3 days. And that's regular admission. And then we have the VIP, which is unheard of, $597. And if you've ever been to a VIP experience, you know what it's like. Have you ever paid $597 for VIP? I know I've never have paid. General admission, I've usually paid $597, and that's a one-day event. So think about that. It's going to be an incredible time.
I've paid
But that's going to go away.
lunch as a VIP.
I'm sorry, that was lunch.
I have paid $1,000 for a VIP for just 2 lunches, but it's in the room. Yeah. Katie has actually showed me. She just said that she has copperheads. She just showed me a picture of one not too long ago, or I saw it on her Facebook feed. That's pretty wild. It was huge in her garden, but still. Snakes have messages, cobras especially, because they're seers. We don't have cobras.
I gotta tell you, Tammy, I'm in New York. There's a lot of snakes in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we talking about humans or are we talking about snakes?
We're talking about humans.
They're all over.
There was a gentleman that I knew many moons ago, and I won't even talk to this gentleman. And I don't know why I even call him a gentleman, but it was funny because somebody said to me about him, they go, yeah, when you see him go from one spot to the other, you know what he leaves behind? I'm like, what does he leave behind? His carcass, because he's a snake and he shed his skin. I said, yeah, that's not the only thing he leaves behind. He leaves behind all the victims of the people he fooled along the way. So there are lots of snakes out there. And the questions that we all have to ask ourselves, do we want to associate with snakes?
Law of polarity, good and bad.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you a wild story. I had a picture of it. I don't know where the picture is, but I was out in my garage one day and it was just a 1-car garage. It was a condo that I'd bought and there was just one car that would fit in. There was a little bit of boxes in the front. And I walked around to where some of those boxes were and I saw a 6-foot-long snake skin. I got scared. I picked up the snake skin and I had a 6-foot-long table in my foyer and I laid the snake skin on it as a display. It was drop dead gorgeous, but it was also scary.
Oh, yeah.
So let me just tell you that for about 2 weeks, every single time I would go out in my garage, I would park my car to where I could reach in and open the car door and step into my car so I didn't have to step in my garage until finally one day I faced it. And I said, Spirit, would you please tell me why this snake shed its skin and if it's still here? I've been in fear for 2 weeks. Do I need to be afraid? No, Tammy, do you remember a month ago, you're waking up, you're half asleep, and the snake asked you if it could shed its skin in your garage? And I said, oh my God, I remember. The snake's not there. And you gave it permission. So I want us to think about, no matter what is happening in our lives, no matter what is rearing its head, no matter what snakes we have in Manhattan or wherever we live, why are you in front of it? And what can you learn? And how can that person be of service? What did you encounter them for? A lot of times it's what not to do. A lot of the coaches that I've hired and mentors, the value was don't ever do this to somebody else as a mentor. But still, they were of service. So
I love that, Tammy. Keep going. I'm
move
just
that
enjoying it.
to, I'm going to use you. I'm going to use this scenario. I'm going to look at what I can learn from you. You're a servant of mine, and thank you so much. I kid, and I'm going to do it here. My last ex-husband, I said, thank you so much, asshole. And I genuinely mean it. I mean both. Thank you so much, asshole. I see you. I learned. I grew. Every single pain, every single discomfort, every single thing that was said and lied about, every single thing, the stealing of my money, all this stuff that happened, I'm actually thankful. And the way that I looked at it was, okay, you stole about $15,000, but if I can make $15,000 and have it in my safe, I can do it again. That doesn't define me. You understand what I'm saying? The snake that you were talking about does not define you, but he does have something to teach you. I would love to know, what can you gain from that snake you were talking about?
Oh my gosh, I got to tell you, Tammy, I love this topic, this part of the Cobra Effect, because my biggest teachers have been the ones that hurt me the most.
Yes.
Yet, I would not be who I am without them. So my gratitude is really towards them. When you said thank you, asshole, listen, I've had people embezzle money from me. I've had people steal. I've had people do all kinds of crazy things. And every single time I've learned what not to do, how not to act, how to be better. So every lesson comes at a price. And the problem is that not everybody understands that we have to pay the price, whether we like it or not. Some lessons, it costs a lot more. Some lessons are timely. What I mean by that is they take a long time for us to realize, get the heck out of here. Why am I still here? Why am I still in it? And like partnerships, whether it's a marriage or a business partnership or whatever it is, it's when we wake up and we actually understand. But when we blame, we forget the most important person in the equation.
All
That's
these
right.
fingers pointed back at us.
That's right. So when I point now, I use all my digits.
You go ahead and make it.
I'm gonna
I don't want it coming back to me.
It's not coming back. I'm doing this, right? Sometimes it's all 10 digits, right? So when we think about, we are the only ones to blame when we fail. Whenever I fail, I can't look at my team. I can't look at my partner. I can't look at my kids. I can't look at anyone but me. And that's ownership. I have to take ownership of me. And when we don't understand who we are, we can't take ownership.
You know, the guy that I became homeless because of, when I talk about him, I say, I'm going to tell you two ways, and both are true. One, he stole everything I had.
Mm.
At the time, I had $284,000. It was everything I had. He stole $284,000. The other truth, the second one is, I paid him to learn how to manifest. I paid him well not to ever have financial issues again because I had to face it. And I swear, if I saw Ken right now, I would be hugging him and saying, thank you for being my servant and coming into my life because I wanted to learn those things. I used it. And let me tell you what I did with it. And thank you for playing that role. Now I don't ever have to have another Ken. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Every lesson is one that we should move from. In other words, either we grow from it or we leave it because it wasn't worth it. And I like growth. And we talked about that earlier today before we got on the air. And you talked about being busy. And I said, if I'm not busy, I'm not a happy camper. Because for me, busy means I'm serving. Busy means that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And the old saying is, if you want something done, don't give it to somebody who's not busy, because they will take your thing and put it on the wayside. I'll get to it later. It'll get done. Don't worry about it. Now you give it to a busy person, it's going to get done because they know how to get things done. So I would rather always work with somebody who's busy, not somebody who has all the time.
One of the things that is happening in my life, the Cobra Effect right now, is busyness versus really moving forward. And I'm in a coaching program right now. And one of the coaches that is part of the program that comes in and talks to us is Amelia Antoinetti. She's a multi-billionaire. She is the one that Jeff Bezos goes to evaluate businesses. And she is in my business right now. And one of the things, and I'm actually going to Florence and spending time in a mastermind and really going through and getting her help. She's teaching us about the mindset of millionaires and billionaires and really evaluating whether or not you are an operator in your business or you are an investor. And she says that if we are not building a company that we can sell, we're an operator. And we don't have a real business, according to her. If we're not structuring the business to sell it, as an investor would look at it, we have a hobby. And so I'm really having to evaluate busyness. And one of the things that she told us to do, and she said, I want you to let me know. And I wrote her. And I said, let me tell you what I found. She asked us to go through our calendar from January the 1st and really look at what were your appointments, what was yielded, how are you wasting your time, are you busy, but not really moving forward. So right now in my life, there's a real auditing and an evaluation of who am I spending my time with? How am I spending my time? I'm playing too much mahjong. I can tell you that when I get when I get really tired at night and I'm watching TV for a minute, I'll play Mahjong and it's addictive to me. I have hard, just one more, just one more. It's ridiculous the things that we do that we're not really being mindful about. Mahjong is great on airplanes when I could be reading a book or I could be watching a movie. But it's not good when I need to be on the computer doing work or bringing something else. And I'm like, just one more game, just one more game. So I'm really evaluating and assessing and looking at my life. What are you doing with your time? And when I ask you about busy, that's because that is a topic that is very front and center in my life right now. Tammy, what are you doing? Is it busy or is it productive? Is it growth? Is it moving forward? Or is it keeping you stagnated? So she asked us to go through our calendar and really assess, what are you using your time on? Your time is valuable. Your time represents you. It's all you've got, really. You've got this moment. And
I love that you're talking about that. This
and
is
here's
very,
the that I'm changing in my life. And she went, good. You did the job. So what did you say?
I said, I love that you're talking about this. This is perfect. Because if you're not living your life with intention, then you're just living. There was a movie called, and there's a song by Madonna and Justin Timberlake called TikTok, right? And it's not the platform TikTok, it's TikTok on your clock, right, on your watch. And there was a movie Justin Timberlake was in, and they had the time on their wrist, and it was taking off. If you ever get to watch it, take a look at it. It's interesting because the concept is, if you have this amount of time, what would you do with it? But here's the real story. We do only have a certain amount of time. What are we doing with it? Are we scrolling? Are we wasting it? So my fiance, I got to tell you, she's one of the brightest persons I know, because she will ask me for my schedule so she can plan things for us.
Oh.
So today, she said, what are you doing Wednesday? I said, I got this. And she goes, oh. And I said, what is that about? She goes, no, I'm like, wait. What do you want to do? She told me what she wanted to do. I said, let me see what I can finagle. See if I can move things around. Because I realized spending time with her, especially when she's asking for it, was going to be more important than any appointments I had. So I went and I changed my appointments so I can spend that time with her. So she does that very often. She'll ask me, show me your calendar. Because she knows I book everything. So she's very, very understanding of that, right? And so she plans a lot of different things.
Do you want to tell us what she's got you doing tonight? I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight.
It's not even tonight, it's this afternoon.
Oh, this afternoon. Okay, good.
She's taking me to the movies.
Oh, what are you going to see?
The Michael Jackson movie.
Oh, let me tell you. Do you know that the guy that's playing Michael Jackson is actually his nephew?
I know.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
It is precision. It's a good movie. I saw it Friday night.
Oh, did you? But the whole thing is, we could have gone another day. But because she said, what you doing? And I said, you know what? Me spending time with you is more important than me spending time with somebody else who I haven't even met yet. and it's a potential client. Now, can I push that client? Yes. All I did was ask nicely. I said, hey, something came up. Can we switch our appointment? And they were like, yeah, we can do it at this time. I'm like, boom, it works. But sometimes we're so afraid to ask. We're so afraid to even ask a client, can we switch something? Instead of seeing you on Thursday, can I see you on Friday? I had somebody who recently said to me, I want to be a speaker at your event. I said, great. I said, we're already speaking on Friday. How sooner can we talk? I said, how's Thursday? Perfect. So they want to be a speaker at my event. But I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to drop everything just for you. If I drop everything for them, I have to drop everything for everybody else. And therefore, my intentions will not be what they're supposed to be. I said, I have an opening. I can squeeze you in, or we can keep the other one that we're already scheduled to talk. He wants in so badly. He said, let me jump in on you earlier. I said, fine. But I will not change my life for money. I even said this yesterday to somebody. I said, what would you prefer on your last day? To be in a room full of money, or to be in a room full of people who love you? I know what I would choose.
I love money because it gives me those experiences.
Yeah, but on your last day.
I know what you're talking about, the choice between that or that. I'm saying I can have both.
You can't choose both. You can choose one.
Well, let me tell you what I'm doing this evening. I manifested this. I told Spirit that I wanted to go see Bruno Mars.
Very nice.
And I dated this guy about a month ago. And I have to tell you, he got drunk and started confronting a policeman. He had Bruno Mars tickets that he mentioned he would take me to when he found out that I love him. He's in Charlotte, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from me. When I saw that he was drunk, he had had 7 or 8 drinks. I lost count. And I went, okay, this is over. And I just need to get you back to the hotel. I valet parked there and I'll just leave. He confronted a policeman who didn't even say a word to him, and he's trying to fight with the policeman. I was able to walk away and get to the valet, and I said, look, this is my car. Here's my tag. I'm going to walk over here because I don't want this man to see me if he does get back to the hotel, if he's not arrested. And I went, well, there goes Bruno Mars. And I said to Spirit, I still want Bruno Mars. So I went on a date this last Friday night with a really nice gentleman. And we were talking about the Michael Jackson movie. And I said, I'll tell you who I want to see, Bruno Mars. He said, oh my God, I've been trying to get rid of those tickets. So he's taking me tonight. He had tried to sell them and he went, you want to see Bruno Mars? And I went, yes. He said, will you please go with me Wednesday night? And I'm like, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Bruno Mars is incredible.
I've never seen him in concert. I've always wanted to, but I just recently placed my order, not even knowing he was coming to Charlotte. So I'm looking forward to that. And this is his romantic tour.
Oh.
So you're going to enjoy the Michael Jackson movie. It is extraordinary. I'm just going to give you one insight. Jafar, his nephew, Jermaine's son, spent 1 year on the Billie Jean dance.
Yeah.
And
that's
lip
pretty
syncing.
crazy.
1 year. Yeah. That I couldn't believe the precision of how he moved. And if you get a chance, look at the backstory of how he even got the part. He had to work for it. He had never acted before.
Right.
Ever.
I heard.
He's a songwriter. It's extraordinary to see that commitment, that intention, which is a lot of what we're talking about today with the Cobra Effect. Use it. Dig
Well,
into it.
think about that, right? It took him a year to get that down. It took Michael a lifetime.
Yes.
Think of it that way.
Oh, no question. Yeah.
What a great conversation we had today. Obviously, bringing two different points of view on the Cobra Effect. As you and I always have our different points of views, but they kind of merge really well together. And this is why I love doing this show with you. You're an exceptional human being. Thank you so much. You have fun tonight. I know I'm going to have fun this afternoon. And I got to tell you, what a great honor to be in your presence. And I cannot wait to see you in person again. I know that's going to happen. Maybe you'll join us in Atlanta. And
Talk about the possibility of me speaking.
absolutely.
Okay.
So let's do this again. And I know we have a couple of shows coming up soon. And everybody, do me a favor. Share this with somebody who needs to see what today's topic was about. It may affect them in a way that may not have affected you. It might be their Cobra Effect they needed to listen to. Everybody,
Thank you.
God bless. Have a
Yes.
beautiful day.
For commenting. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you. And Tammy, hang on for a sec. We're going to chat.
Okay.
Everybody, God bless.